Hello everyone, welcome back to Tech Capture. In today's video, we are diving into the heart of Apache Airflow, that is DAG. So what we will see in this video? We will see in this video what is DAG, why it is important in Airflow, the key components of DAG like what is default argument, task dependencies, scheduling, trigger rule, and then finally we will see what is .airflow file. We will see how to use a DAG, how to write a DAG, how to load the DAG, how to trigger a DAG, what are the different triggers rules are there, and we will see a multiple examples in this video. So this video will be very useful because you will not only understand what is DAG, but you will also ready to write your own DAG, own Airflow workflow just like a pro. So let's get started and we'll see what is DAG in this video. Now let's first understand what is DAG in Airflow. So in Airflow, DAG stands for a directed acyclic graph and it represents the whole workflow structure and it is the combination of tasks. So when we are talking about DAG, so it is nothing but the combination of tasks, but along with the task, it also have few other components. So each of this DAG is having a schedule, each of this DAG is having the task dependencies, trigger rules, default arguments, connections, and sometimes variables also defined into the DAG. So all this combination, which is the execution order, execution flow, everything is defined in the DAG. So it is nothing but your whole workflow structure. So if I want to show you how a typical DAG look like, so you can see I have put one example here. So you can see this whole workflow is called as a DAG, and each of this box is defined as a task. So let's say one is just the start of the DAG, which is just a dummy operator. Then there is one task which will extract some data, and there are three multiple tasks which is defined with dependencies. So first the extract master data will complete, and once it is completed, then the remaining task will trigger independently. So now these three are parallel. So task 1 is not dependent on task 2 and task 2 is not dependent on task 3, but all these three are dependent on your extract data. Okay, so once these three are completed, then it will trigger either notify failure or join transform based on their trigger rules. Okay, so we will discuss what is trigger rule, what is task dependencies, all these things we will see in detail, but this is a simple example how a DAG looks like. So let me just go to the Airflow UI and I will show you some simple DAGs there. Okay, so let's head over to the Airflow UI. Now I am on my Airflow UI and you will see some multiple DAGs here. So I'll just open one test DAG here. So if I open the test DAG, you will see a similar kind of structures. You will see the task, you will see the dependencies. Okay, let me just go to the graph view and you can see here I have declared three tasks here. One is just the start task, and then one will print date, and one will say just print a hello world. Okay, so that is my a simple DAG here. Let me show a few other examples how the DAG will look like, how the dependencies are there. Some are totally sequential, that each task is dependent on their previous task with the default trigger rules. Let me just go to the graph view and you can see this is whole sequential. First it will trigger start task, based on the start task completion, then it will extract the data, then it will transform the data, then it will load the data, and at the end it is just again the dummy operator which will just show as a end status, which will mark the whole DAG as a complete. So this is one example of DAG. So hope you understood now what is DAG. DAG is nothing but the combination of tasks, and each task is mentioned along with the dependencies when it should executed. And if I go back to the DAG, so DAG has some component. As I said, each DAG is having a schedule frequency. It is having the DAG schedule. Okay, so you can see here each of this DAG schedule is mentioned here. None, it means no schedule is mentioned. We can see how we can write it, how we can mention frequency, everything in detail, but I just want to show it on UI. You can see these DAGs are scheduled on daily basis. Okay, and this is scheduled none, it means it is just manually triggered. Okay, so currently you can see all DAGs are in disabled state, only one is enabled. So if these are in disabled state, then it will not even run on their scheduled time. I can just enable this DAG okay, so it will execute on their scheduled time. Okay, so hope you understood what is DAG now. So let me just go back to our slides and we'll see the different components of the DAG now. Now let's talk about a components of DAG. So whenever we are writing a DAG definition file, which is a Python file, we have to mention the different components of DAG. So what are these different components of DAG? So default argument, task dependencies, then we are having schedule, we are having trigger rule. So all these are components of DAG. Okay, so let's see what are these components. Okay, so you can see on my screen, this is a simple DAG definition file which is having a 2 task. So you can see this task, one is just start task, which is the dummy task, then we are having print hello task and print date task. So in this there are multiple components. The first component we can discuss is a default argument. So this default argument is nothing but the dictionary that holds a default parameter like start date, retries delay, email, and it is just to avoid a repetition of the code and keep our DAG definition file clean. Okay, so that is the use of the default argument. Then the second, we are having tasks. So on my screen you can see there are 3 tasks, as I mentioned. One is start task, second is a print hello task, and third is the print date task. Okay, but how this task order is defined? Because now if you see the DAG order, so the first start task is executing at the first, and then parallelly print hello and print date task are executing. So how we have to mention the dependencies? So dependencies are like start task, and then print hello and print date are parallel. So either you can mention this dependency parallel or sequential based on your requirement. Okay, so this is your third component. Then comes to a schedule. So schedule controls when the DAG runs. Okay, so here you can see I have mentioned a schedule interval. It means my DAG execute on a daily basis. So either you can put a cron expression. With the help of the cron expression, you can define a particular time at which your DAG needs to be executed, or you can put the presets. So presets are like daily, hourly, once in a day, based on that preset. Okay, so these are your presets, and using that you can schedule your DAG. And for scheduling DAG you need to define the schedule interval parameters. Then it comes as a trigger rule. So in trigger rule we have to define when the task should be executed on the upstream task. So there are 4 common rules. One is all success. It means if all the previous tasks are succeeded, then only the task will execute. Second is all failed. When all the previous tasks failed, then only it will execute. Then third is one success. It means let's say you have 2 tasks before parallelly, and if any one of is success, then it will execute. And fourth is none failed. There are multiple rules. We will discuss in a separate video what are these rules and how we can use this rule based on our requirement. Okay, so these are some components of DAG. Hope you are understood now what is a different components of DAG. Now let's talk about how to define a DAG, how to write a DAG definition file. So whenever we are defining the DAG, there are 3 options or 3 ways to define a DAG. One is a context manager, where you can define a DAG using a with clause. Second is object style, just like assigning the variable to the DAG variable, you can just write your DAG. And third is using the decorator, where you can write @DAG decorator, and you can create the modern and modular approach. So most commonly used is with the context manager, that is with clause, and using a with DAG you can put all the required parameter within that and you can write your DAG. So this is just a theoretical. Let me go to my Airflow and I will show you 3 different ways where we can define a DAG in these 3 different way. Okay, so I have created 3 different DAG and with all these examples. So first I created a DAG with clause, second I with the object style where DAG is equal to the DAG parameters, and third with the decorator. So just let me go to the VS Code first and then I will show you all these 3 DAGs in the Airflow. So let's go to the VS Code now. And here you can see the first method I have defined DAG using a with clause. So you can see simple a DAG definition with DAG, and here I have defined a DAG ID, default argument, schedule interval, catch up, and all whatever required parameters using this. So this is with parameters and name of the DAG is simple test DAG. Okay, so I will just go on UI and I will show you the simple test DAG how it looks like with a with clause. So this is my a UI, and here you can see a simple test DAG. Let's go to the graph mode, and here you will see. Okay, so with clause I have defined DAG. So simple text DAG is name of my DAG as I mentioned in the VS Code, and there are three tasks: start task, print hello, print date. So same you can see in the Airflow UI. Now we'll see a second method where I will define a DAG with object style. Okay, so I'll just open a VS Code, and here is object style. So here I am not using with clause, I am just using DAG equal to, and then I am using this with the parameter. So this is simple test DAG v2 name I have given. So let's go to the UI and see how this will look like. Okay, and I will look for the v2. So this is my sample test DAG v2. So let's go to the graph, and you can see this is exactly similar, just the way how we define it changed, but rest of the things are remain same. Now let's check for the third option with the decorator. So you can see with the Python decorator style. So here I am just defining as a @DAG, and then rest of the parameters will remain same. Now this DAG ID is a sample DAG v3, test DAG v3. So let's go back to the UI and let's scroll down and check for the test DAG v3 decorator style. Let's go to the graph view, and you also see this way also it is exactly similar. So this is how we can write our DAG definition file and define a DAG in three different options. So let's just summarize three different options. First is with statement. So here you just write with DAG and you will define all the parameters. Then with the object style, where you will write DAG is equal to DAG and you will define all the parameters. And third with the decorator, where you will define @DAG and then you will define all the parameters. So hope this is clear now how to define a DAG. Now the major important point. So once you define your DAG, once you created your DAG definition file, which is your Python file .py file, then how to load your DAG, because you are once your DAG is loaded, it will be available on a Airflow UI here. Okay, so how to load your DAG? So loading a DAG very simple. Once your DAG definition file is ready, which is your .py file, and this DAG definition is available in any one of these options. Okay, either with clause or with object style. So any DAG definition is available in that py file. It will be available on UI if there are no syntax error. If there are any syntax errors, if there are any import error, any issues, then it will give you an import error on the DAG. It will give error directly on the DAG. Okay, so how you will load your DAG? So loading DAG is simple. So you have to just put your Python DAG definition file in DAGs folder. Now where you will find a DAGs folder? So now I am using a Airflow on my local system, and where is my DAGs folder? So I can check in Airflow config. So my DAGs folder on my local container is opt airflow/DAG, and I have mounted this /opt airflow on my Airflow folders here. So my DAG folder is here on my locally, where all these DAG files are available. So whatever the files, so how many files are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So 8 files are available. So it means my 8 DAG should be available on UI. If any one of these DAG is not present, then we will check for Airflow ignore file. So on UI it is showing 8 DAGs. So it is not considering the .ignore file. So .ignore file is just like our git ignore file. So whatever we put in that Airflow ignore file, it will ignore that files. Okay, and it will not show in UI because they will not be considered in a DAG definition file. So let me go back and check my Airflow ignore file. So this is my Airflow ignore file. So why it is not working? Okay, so my location is incorrect. So it should be in the .airflow. It should be in the DAGs folder. Okay, I'll just put it into the DAGs folder, and then it should not consider any of the file which is having test. So just like my test.py. So my test DAG will not be usable in UI. So if you have multiple folders, that you can also put in the Airflow ignore files. Okay, so after some times you will not see this a test DAG here. So what I will do, just to make sure our .airflow ignore file is working, I will just restart the airflow. Okay, so as I am using the local airflow, I just installed it using the Docker on my Windows system. If you haven't watched my previous video, just go back and watch my previous video. So I'll just simply stop and start the airflow here. So we'll see if our .airflow ignore file is working correctly. So I just stop the container on which my airflow is running locally, and if I go back to the airflow UI and try to refresh, it will not work because now airflow is stopped. Okay, now I will go back to the Docker and I will start my airflow, and within few seconds, it will take some time. You will see the logs here, and after some times if I go back, it will work again. Okay, so currently it is just loading the logs, so it will take few seconds and after that it will start working. Okay, so let's wait for a couple of minutes, and once my airflow is up, then we will validate if .airflow file is working or not. So my airflow UI is up and running now. Let's verify in Docker. So here you can see the logs, it is running. If I check the container status, it is running now. 2 minutes ago it just started, and the CPU is around 10% now. So if I go back and see, now there are 7 DAGs only, and test DAG is disappeared because the test DAG we have put in a .airflow ignore file. So whatever we write here, it will be ignored and will not be considered as a DAG. So even though we have defined DAG here, it will not be added in the airflow web server. It will not be considered for airflow scheduling. So that's how we can use .airflow git ignore file, and hope you understood now what is DAG, what are the different components of DAG, because what we discussed in this video is what is DAG, what is task, how to define task dependencies, what is default argument, and then we discussed about how to write a DAG, what are the 3 different ways to define a DAG, how to load the DAG. We have to just put it into the DAGs folder. If we are using locally, it is just the file system. If we are using the Cloud Composer or AWS on the Airflow on AWS using MWAA, then we have to just add into the storage bucket or S3 bucket DAGs folder. Okay, so that is how we load the DAG, and then how to use .airflow ignore file, that is also we discussed. So we will see more stuff in detail, just like how to schedule a DAG, what are the different scheduling option we are having, what are the different trigger rules we are having, what are the different option we are having on UI, what are the connections and variable. All things we will see in detail in our further video. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you again in a next video.